Years ago, when we would go to national sales meetings and things like that, and even in some case now, folks would go to a meeting, they'd get a great big binder with all kinds of PowerPoint presentations in it, maybe a gigantic clunky ARS machine to answer questions in the group environment, and then they would walk out of the meeting, and oftentimes there'd be a really big dumpster to dump your meeting materials into because you weren't allowed to take them with you, and that was it. The meeting was done. You went, you got your binder, you participated, you dumped your binder, and you went home. As technology has evolved, and the iPad became a tool that many customers in the industry are using, we started to see an introduction of paperless meeting apps. And in most cases, those apps took the place of the big gigantic binder, which is great. No one had to carry around a big binder for 3 or 4 days. And in some cases, the ARS tool, right? So now we can do this all from our iPads. We think that there's an opportunity to do a lot more with that technology. Why just put a PowerPoint into an iPad when you can use that iPad to do really interactive things and to get some meaningful data back? For example, if you were involved in a product launch meeting, wouldn't it be great to be able to, throughout the course of the multi-day launch meeting, be able to measure how are people performing, how are they improving on their day 1 detail of the product through the day 5 certification of the product? To be able to identify through all of those different interactions, where are there gaps on an individual level, on a district level, a region level, a zone level, across the organization, and then target the training interventions you are going to do to those specific gaps. I think in order to achieve that type of meeting nirvana, you need to really make sure that you have a provider that understands how content and technology are married together. We can't look anymore and say content sits over here and technology sits over here and expect an optimal experience. So working with somebody that says, how can we enhance the content and be able to pull out of the content some meaningful, relevant data that we can then analyze, is key and critical. Now, this wouldn't mean you have to create all new content by any stretch of the imagination. You just need someone who can take an eye to that content and look at it and say, how can we enhance this? How might we be able to reshape it a little bit to be able to get that relevant, meaningful data and provide some insights into the business mindset?